What's up YouTube, Cowboys here, back in another video where we talk about cars, money, investing. And today's video we're going to discuss a recent Facebook sale post that's on one or more popular groups that features a Masters set of the 2018 Fleer Ultra X-Men that has a whole lot of cards, and the asking price for this Masters set is $1 million or best offer. Right. So, okay, for those who are not familiar with the term master set, it basically means complete or near complete set of the entire run for that particular product, which means this includes all the base cards, all the various inserts, and multiple different parallels for that particular series. And in this case, for the 2018 Fleer Ultra X-Men, this would include all 5 versions of the precious metal gems, which is the bronze, red, blue, green, and the purple. Okay. Also other cards like inserts such as the X cards, jambalayas, various sketches, buybacks, and a lot more, right? And it also includes one of one, which is the gold PMG of Magneto, right? So this master set was listed by Mikhail Littlemeyer. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but as I mentioned earlier, right, so the asking price is $1 million, and perhaps trade for a piece of real estate or high-end comic collections, was stated on the listing. So in this video, we're not going to break down the value of this set, whether or not it's worth $1 million, right? I believe some of you are perhaps doing the math on that, but for this video, I want to give you my perspective from an investor and what goes on in my mind when I see a listing like this, right? So when it goes up for sale. So first things first, the 2018 X-Men Fleer Ultra is a set that was released right after the already popular 2017 Spider-Man Fleer Ultra. Now, I wouldn't say that X-Men properties are less popular than Spider-Man, but this set didn't command as big of a demand as the Spider-Man series in the secondary market, and one reason is because a lot of the 2018 cards from this series was actually snapped up through e-pack by just one or several individuals, right? So therefore, there were not much activity in the secondary market for these cards, right? So you might then wonder, isn't that how scarcity works? When there is a shortage of supply of a particular card, and the price will definitely go up. Well, that's true on most commodities that's already desirable in the first place, right? But 2018 X-Men Fleer Ultra got off to a lukewarm start overall, and by having majority of its cards already cornered by a group of people in the market, right? And it got picked off pretty early as well. So many other people didn't get a chance to get into the game for this 2018 X-Men, and because there are a lot of other replacement options out there, so therefore this particular set kind of like left treading in the water in terms of pricing. Hence, we don't see the crazy multiples or the spikes, right, that we have seen on its PMGs versus that of the 2013 or the 2015, despite having similar hard-numbered zeros, right? That's out of 99, out of 50, out of 5, and out of 10, respectively, right? But again, I'm not belittling X-Men itself. I love the X-Men, right? But it does show that it doesn't mean that when you slap a PMG on something, it's going to be red hot. So back to the topic at hand, a master set like this obviously is a massive endeavor, and it takes hours and hours of painstaking effort to put such a collection together. Any collector can appreciate such a feat, and that's what makes collecting fun and interesting, right? The hunt, the pursuit, and ultimately the achievement of that goal of completing the set. But when one has reached the end game, right, so to speak, what comes next? Most collectors, will sit back, enjoy the work, likely for the entire, or most part of their lifetime, right? Some perhaps will try to cash in. Again, I'm not going to break down the values of this particular set here, and we're going to assume that $1 million for this master set is not a crazy number, when you count all the hours that you have this person has put in to get the set together. But essentially, that's the crux of the problem. $1 million itself, it's a crazy amount, for time and sweat, so to speak, right? And all of that has been inbuilt into the price. So basically, the next buyer will need to be A, rich, and B, be willing to pay for your sweat equity. In this era, it's not uncommon to find such a buyer when we see, things like venture capitalists or VCs invest a lot of money into startups and new businesses with the hopes of gains and profits. Okay, and at the same time, rewarding the founders for those businesses for their sweat equity and continued support to grow the business. Now, cards, however, is not a startup business, right? So when the value might increase over time, in most cases, the percentage of increase starts from your new cost base, and in this case, it's $1 million. So, for example, if you say that you had $1 million and was looking to get, let's say, a 30% return within 5 years. Right, so that means that you need to get a $300,000 gain. Now, I'm not saying that's impossible, but given the history of this set, and I talk about cards as a whole, right, the uncertainty of card collecting, it's pretty tough ask if you ask me, right? Moreover, if you had $1 million, would you be better off, breaking the million into many smaller investments across the hobby? Right, it's a lot more work and a lot more time, obviously, but the probability of achieving a 30% return, okay, it's much greater than a lump sum into a master set such as this 2018 X-Men. But what about collectability, right? Like art. Now, surely someone with $1 million, right, would pay up to appreciate the collection as a piece of art, as opposed to, consider its financial returns, right? So I think people need to understand that the wealthy doesn't treat high-end art, it's just a piece of art on the wall for them to look at and for them to enjoy. It's also a strategic play for them from a tax point of view. But collectible cards hasn't got to that stage yet. So finally, I'm not discounting the possibility that someone might be willing to pay up, or perhaps grab a significant portion of this set. But I've seen many examples during my Magic the Gathering days where players try to get out of their master sets and end up taking a price that which didn't, quite match their original expectations. But those guys have enjoyed the time with those cards, and I probably would say the same thing to Mikhail over here. Alright, that's my point of view on this. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. Do subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of content, and thanks guys for watching. Carboss out.